Spring has finally arrived here in North Idaho. The snow is gone, the sun is out, and the birds are tweeting. So, you know what that means? Time to build an awesome log cabin birdhouse. And this has to be one of the nicest birdhouses I've ever built. So stick around in this video because I'm going to show you step by step on how to build this thing, give you some tips and tricks on how to make it look just right, and I'm going to give away some free plans that you can download so you can build this yourself using only one cedar fence picket. So let's get building. So the first piece we need is a 4.5 inch square. And these aren't square when they come from the store. So I usually take off the end. These have staples in here, so I just push it far enough to avoid the staple. Square it up, and then I'm gonna cut a 4.5 inch square. And with the saw at 45 degrees, I just need to nip just a little bit off of each corner. Maybe like a 1/4 inch off each corner. So it's going to look like this when you're done, and I'll show you what these are used for here in just a minute. Now with the saw set back to 0 degrees, we need 3 pieces at 6.5 inches. After I cut one, I just use the other piece to mark the rest, and you use that first piece as your reference piece. That way they're all the same. Now we want to just clean up one edge of this, so I just knock it over so it's just barely rubbing the blade, and I'll run all 3 pieces through just on one side. So take a tape and measure the thickness of the board. This one happens to be 9/16. Sometimes they're 1/2 inch, sometimes they're 5/8. These fence pickets usually aren't very consistent. So now that I know it's 9/16, I'm going to set my table saw at 9/16, and that way I can rip perfect squares.
I'm using the gripper for microjig here. If you don't have one of these, you probably should. It makes cuts like this safe and easy, and it keeps your workpiece very secure and under control. I'll go ahead and leave a link below in the comments if you want to check it out.
So I got 7 of these out of that one cut, plus a little bit of scrap that's not a perfect square. Don't throw this away. We might need this later in the project. So cut some more of these because we need 20 of these altogether. So after you cut all 20 of the 6.5 inches, now you need 20 4.5 inches. Same process as before. So let me make those right now. Okay, so we have our base, our long logs, and our short logs, and we're going to be stacking these like a log cabin. One on each end, and then the long ones will stack on each side here, and there'll be a nice log overhang. You'll notice too that there's the side that you cut, and then there's the rough side. We want to make sure that we're stacking them with the smooth side, the cut side, always top and bottom, and the rough side in and out. So we also need to make sure that as we're stacking these coming up, that they're all aligned properly, so when we're done, our walls aren't crooked. So the easiest way to do that is to mark these so we know where to position them as we stack them higher. And the easiest way to do that is to lay the first row here with the short side on each side, and then pull this one over, the long one over, and you'll see that all the overhang is over here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to measure that and then split the difference. So this one has a 3/4 overhang, so I'm going to come in 3/8 on each side and mark all these. And I'll show you an easy way to do that. So just line them all up in a square, and that way everything's all lined up the same. And just mark it 3/8 on one of them, and then you can just use a speed square to run a line down all of them. Okay, so to start off, you just take your base, line up your 2 small ones and your 2 large ones, and just make sure everything's lined up with the lines that you previously marked. And once everything's lined up, just put some 1-inch brad nails to hold it in place. So there's the base, and you'll notice those are the corners that we clipped off a little earlier. So if there's any moisture that gets in here, it'll drain out those holes on the side and keep the center nice and dry. Okay, so to start to stack the layers, I use Titebond 3 glue. I just use a glue bot to apply it. Titebond 3 is waterproof, and this is going to be hanging outside, so you don't want to use a non-waterproof glue. And I just put a little bit of glue, just a little dab does it. And be careful not to extend the glue past those marks you made, because then you'll see the glue. And then just alternate these logs and start stacking, gluing, and nailing. Okay, so when we get to the 8th level, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, leave the front side off. Don't nail it down yet. So grab one of the scrap pieces from before, and we're going to make a perch out of this. Now, if you don't want a perch, no problem. You can just skip this step and you can just nail this little piece right in. But if you do want a perch, just line this right up in the center, mark how wide it is, and we're just going to cut that out right there. So there's those two pieces, and then I'm going to cut this perch down a little bit because I don't need it this long. So I'm just going to eyeball it, and I'm going to make it about that long and get rid of that. Then you can just put some glue down and secure all these in place.
To get the free set of plans for this project, just comment the word plans below in the comments, and I'll give you a link on where you can download these plans. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel.
And now you can finish up your last two layers. So now we need to create the two gables, and the base of these need to be 6.5 inches, and we'll make those at 45 degrees. So before we attach the gable end, we're going to want to drill a hole in this so our birds can get in. You want to use a 1.5-inch hole. It's the right size to let the birds in but keeps the predators out. Or at least that's what I read somewhere on the internet, and everything you read on the internet's true. So I'm just going to use a 1.5-inch Forstner bit on the drill press and just drill it dead center. So now that we have our two gables, we'll go ahead and attach them. So we'll just use a little bit of Titebond 3 glue, and we'll just line it up on the front. We just need a couple nails to hold it in place. So we'll just go to an angle here, come up about 3/4 of an inch, and pow. And once that glue dries, that'll be nice and secure. Now with the board we still have left over, we can make our roof. We need to make two pieces 7 inches long. So a couple of things about working with cedar fence pickets. They do warp a little bit. If you notice this one, it is slightly bowed. And so when you do your roof, I like to have my bow like this, and it just makes it look nicer. Also, when we secure this roof, we're going to overlap the boards like so. And if we do that, you'll see that one roof edge is going to be longer than the other roof edge. And so what we need to do is rip off the thickness of this board off of this board, so then both sides will match. And since these boards are never exactly the same width, I just use the board to mark this board, and that's where I'll rip it. So we're not going to actually secure the roof to the birdhouse at this point, but we do want to assemble the roof. And so that side that you just cut is where we're going to put the glue. So you want to make sure that you have the cupping on the top side, put a little glue on the side that you just cut, the edge that you just cut. And we're just going to line that up and make sure that you have the cupping facing the right direction. And these gables will give us the right angle on securing this roof. And then what we want to do is just drive some finish nails right in this roof line. And that will secure the roof in place, and that way it will remove. Okay, so we're going to be hanging this with twine, And we're going to be drilling a couple holes right in the roof, and the twine is going to come through the roof. And so we need to secure a couple little eye bolts right inside here. So we're just going to pre-drill this and screw in a couple eye bolts. So then we take a measurement, and it's 4 inches between the eye bolts, and the roof is 7 inches. So we're going to split the difference and come in 1.5 inches and drill a hole right at the very peak of the roof on each side. So I'll be using some sisal rope to hang it. So you want to use a drill bit that's just big enough for the sisal rope to go through. Not too big, just big enough. So I'm using about a 1/4 inch bit. And we're going to drill right through the center of the peak. So there's plenty of scrap left over where you can cut little pieces and make this really look unique. And so I'm going to make a little doorway right in front. So it'll be the little door to the cabin. And to attach these, I'm just going to use a little CS glue, a little activator.
Now it's time to give the cabin that rustic look. I'm using a torch to lightly char the wood, going a little darker in some areas than others to add depth and character. And yeah, I can already see the comments rolling in about setting the shop on fire. Don't worry, I'm being very careful, and I do have a fire extinguisher nearby.
I caught fire so many times I can't even feel it anymore.
That said, if you do try this yourself, doing this outside is probably the smarter move.
Okay, now to secure the lid, a little trick, put a little blue painter's tape on the end of the rope and kind of twist it, and that'll help feed the rope without it fraying out. And then you can stick it through the hole and it'll pull it right through. Then just run it through the eyelet and tie a knot so it can't come loose. So then you can just slide the roof right down on it, and then to clean it out, you just slide the roof right up, clean it out, and slide it right back in place. Also, check out this video here. This is one of my most popular cedar planters, and I have free plans for this as well, and you're definitely going to want to build this.